The story begins in Shanghai City. In a quiet room, a woman with blue-green hair, Zhang Wangshan, is breastfeeding her newborn son. She tells her baby, Shen, how lucky he is to just eat and sleep, smiling that while she's losing sleep over him, it's worth it if he grows up healthy. Unknown to her, the baby is not ordinary. He is reincarnated and has the consciousness of his former life. As he feeds, he notes his brain isn't fully developed, yet he is aware. A blue, game-like status screen appears, identifying him as Lin Zicheng, 33 days old, with a biological level of ordinary Tier 1. He realizes he has a special cheat ability. At 3 months old, Lin Zicheng is in his crib while his parents, Zhang Wangshan and Lin Yansheng, watch him. His father remarks on how physically gifted the baby seems, predicting he will become a mighty gene fuser, or at least a cyborg. As they speak, Lin Zicheng is kicking. A system notification announces he has kicked 10,000 times, granting him the biological attribute, use and advance. This skill allows any part of his body he trains to grow infinitely stronger, within carbon-based limits. He feels his strength grow and wonders what his father meant by gene fusers and cyborgs, imagining superheroes. By 4 months old, Lin Zicheng has learned to sit up and crawl. To avoid frightening his parents with his unnaturally fast development, he trains only at night. Each time he crawls, his system rewards him with points. A month later, at 5 months old, he has mastered walking. At 6 months, he can finally sit up and crawl in front of his parents without it seeming too strange. While watching television, a news report on aberrant beasts shows gene fusers and cyborgs joining forces to fight them. For the first time, Lin Zicheng understands this world is vastly different from his old one. He learns this earth has mutated, giving rise to terrifying creatures called aberrant beasts. To fight them, humanity developed 2 paths. The first is mechanical ascension, where humans modify their bodies with technology to become powerful cyborgs. The second is gene modification, where humans fuse their genes with aberrant beasts, becoming gene fusers to fight monsters with their own power. Realizing the dangers, the reincarnated Lin Zicheng resolves to use his system to grow up safely, evolve his abilities while laying low, and survive in this perilous world. One day, the doorbell rings. Zhang Wangxin opens it to a woman in a blue dress, Su Meng, their new next-door neighbor. Su Meng introduces her family, her husband, Shen Jianye, and their young daughter, Shen Xinghan, who clutches a doll. Lin Zicheng looks at the little girl with purple hair. He acknowledges Shen Xinghan as his first friend in this new world, sensing their destinies will one day be tightly bound. Time passes, and Lin Zicheng dedicates himself to training. At 7 months, thanks to his use and advanced skill, he has mastered running, jumping, and basic language by talking to himself, earning stat points for each activity. By 8 months, his training has progressed to doing sit-ups and push-ups in his crib. He is careful to practice only when his parents are not around. But one day, his mother, Zhang Wangxin, walks onto the balcony and is shocked to see her 8-month-old son doing sit-ups. She rubs her eyes in disbelief. However, being a web novel author, she dismisses it as a stress-induced hallucination. Lin Zicheng immediately pretends to be asleep, breathing a sigh of relief and making a mental note to be more cautious. A few days later, while giving him a bath, Zhang Wangxin makes another shocking discovery. She screams for her husband, Lin Yansheng. When he rushes in, she points out that their 8-month-old son has defined abs. Lin Yansheng is stunned. He excitedly suggests their son might be a 1-in-a-million prodigy with a bright future as a powerful gene fuser or cyborg. Hearing this genius narrative, Lin Zicheng is relieved his secret is safe, realizing how lucky he is to have 2 web novel authors for parents. Lin Zicheng reflects that on this mutated Earth, he is not the only genius. He and his mother watch a news report about a 2-year-old from a martial arts family who can lift a 20 kilos dumbbell with one hand. Zhang Wangxin pulls her son close, proudly stating that her Chen is just as amazing. Lin Zicheng is touched by his mother's confidence and wonders if he'll also be able to lift 20 kilos when he turns 2. By the time Lin Zicheng turns 2, his training has paid off. He has kept a low profile while secretly developing his strength, easily lifting a 20 kilos weight with one hand in the storage room. His session is interrupted when his mother calls that Han, Shen Xinghan's nickname, is here to play. Startled, he puts the weight down and goes out. He opens the door to find Shen Xinghan, now also 2, offering him a tart. Lin Zicheng internally remarks that due to their different mental ages, they don't play conventionally. While Han is a typical toddler, he uses every moment to train. He has found a unique way to spend time with her. Since she likes to stick close, she serves as a perfect custom-sized weighted vest for his exercises. There is, however, one recurring problem. which he is reminded of when he feels a warm wetness and cries out that Han Han has peed on him again. Another year passes. At age 3, Lin Zicheng's strength has grown exponentially and he can lift a 40 kilograms weight with one hand. While watching TV, he sees a report about a 4-year-old prodigy lifting a 30 kilograms dumbbell and notes with satisfaction that he is already stronger. Despite his progress, his system still shows his biological level as ordinary Tier 1. He wonders what it would take to reach Tier 2. With these questions in mind, he steps out of his house for the first time. The world outside is a stunning futuristic cityscape with beastmen and cyborgs, which he assumes are the gene fusers and cyborgs he's heard about. Accompanied by his mother and their neighbors, Xu Meng and Shen Xinghan, he heads to the library. Since his parents don't let him use electronic devices, books are his best source of information. At the library, his mother points him toward the children's section, but Lin Zicheng heads for advanced encyclopedias with a worried Shen Xinghan following. The mothers watch in confusion. Xu Meng asks why he likes these books and Zhang Wangshan guesses it's his genius genes. While Shen Xinghan offers him cookies, Lin Zicheng is absorbed in his reading. Through the books, he learns that all life is categorized into 6 biological levels. Ordinary, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical, each divided into 9 tiers. He realizes normal humans like his parents are at the bottom, ordinary Tier 1, as insignificant as ants compared to higher-level beings. This knowledge lights a fire under Lin Zicheng. He must accelerate his training while maintaining his cover. His system alerts him to a new quest, read 100 million characters to be rewarded with the celestial root of wisdom. Excited to train both mind and body, he accepts. For the next year, Lin Zicheng splits his time between physical training and voracious reading. At age 4, he and Shen Xinghan begin kindergarten, holding hands with the IR teacher, Ms. Zhang Mei. His hard work pays off. Soon after starting school, he breaks through to ordinary Tier 2. His physical prowess is immense. He can lift an 80 kilograms weight with one hand, high jump 1.2 meters, and sprint 100 meters in under 11 seconds. Outstanding stats for an adult, let alone a kindergartner. One day, he finds children surrounding a crying Shen Xinghan, calling her a bedwetter. Seeing his friend bullied, he knows he must act. He leaps dramatically into the center of the bullies. He glares and unleashes a terrifying threat. If anyone bullies Han Han again, he will pee on their bed every day. The childish but menacing threat works. The bullies burst into tears, vowing never to return to kindergarten. Shen Xinghan looks at her protector with admiration. This act unlocks a new achievement, the title of Kindergarten Kid King, and a new series of quests. He is delighted he can work on multiple quests at once. Half a year later, he completes his reading quest. Having read 100 million characters, he is awarded the celestial root of wisdom, granting him a perfect eidetic memory and peak human learning ability. Time flies, and soon he and Shen Xinghan are almost 7, posing for their kindergarten graduation photo. Even during vacation, Lin Zicheng does not rest, now strong enough to train with a massive 200-kilo barbell. During the vacation, his abilities reached new heights. He could leap over 2 meters high and had broken the 8-second barrier in the 100-meter dash with a time of 7.98 seconds. His mind was just as sharp. Boosted by his new attribute, he had already finished most of the elementary school curriculum. His new life began at Sunshine Elementary School. Because he was already self-studying advanced subjects, academic competitions were easy. He effortlessly took first place at the National Elementary School Academic Competition, just to unlock his title as quickly as possible. Whenever he had free time, he would give Shen Xinghan private tutoring. Though not an exceptional talent, she was diligent. With his help, her grades improved dramatically, and after one semester, she was ranked second in the class, with Lin Zicheng holding first place. To speed up his quest, he also participated in school sports meets, breaking every record. Just when he thought his school life would continue in this predictable routine, a special new transfer student appeared. The teacher introduced the newcomer, a girl with long, silvery blue hair named Bai Shui. Lin Zicheng immediately knew she was different. As she stood in the doorway, he could sense a faint, unusual aura that did not belong to a normal human. As the new transfer student, Bai Shui, walks to find a seat, the other students watch her curiously. Shen Xinghan leans over to Lin Zicheng, whom she calls Xiao Chen, and whispers about how pretty Bai Shui's hair is, like winter snowflakes. However, Lin Zicheng is not in the mood to discuss aesthetics. As Bai Shui sits near him, his mind is on the strange, non-human aura he senses from her. He wonders if she could be a gene fuser, or the descendant of one. In the following days, Bai Shuwei proves to be an enigma. She doesn't speak to anyone, and lays her head on her desk the moment class ends, remaining motionless. She barely even gets up for the restroom. At first, students are curious, even taking photos with her while she sleeps. But as her behavior doesn't change, they lose interest, and the classroom returns to its routine. This piece is shattered over a month later. A bizarre phenomenon begins. Bai Shuwei starts to secrete a viscous, white liquid. The substance has a foul odor, and drips down her clothes and legs. The other students react with disgust, complaining about the terrible smell. A mean-spirited boy sneers a crude comment about the liquid, and then pours his water bottle over her head, claiming he's washing her out. Humiliated and soaked, Bai Shuwei clenches her fist on the desk, and tears stream down her face as she begins to cry, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. The bullies erupt in cruel laughter at her distress. Watching from their desks, Shen Xinghan turns to Lin Zicheng with a worried expression, asking if they can help poor Bai Shuwei. Lin Zicheng is confused. He had sensed Bai Shuwei was dangerous, so he can't understand why she is crying. He agrees to help. As he walks towards the bullies, he re-evaluates his assessment. While he still doesn't understand her, he realizes that for now, she isn't a threat. She is just a weak girl being bullied, and he has to step in. Lin Zicheng walks up to the main bully and grabs him by the collar, calling out his name, Guan Chun. With a menacing smile, he orders the boy to wipe the water off Bai Shuwei's desk. Guan Chun is terrified and stammers that he'll wipe it up right away. The other bullies know they are in trouble. Lin Zicheng is notorious at school for being skilled at both academics and fighting. Not even 6th graders dared to mess with him. Knowing it's better to comply, they quickly grab tissues and clean up the mess. Once the desk is clean, Lin Zicheng's gaze sweeps over the group. He commands everyone involved to apologize to her immediately. The bullies, sweating and terrified, quickly comply. They line up before her desk and bow their heads, offering apologies and promising never to bully her again. With the bullies gone, Bai Shuwei looks up, her eyes still tearful. She gratefully thanks both Lin Zicheng and Shen Xinghan. Shen Xinghan puts a comforting hand on Bai Shuwei's shoulder, telling her that classmates are supposed to help each other. From that day on, Shen Xinghan makes it her mission to befriend the quiet, white-haired girl, always dragging Lin Zicheng along. The three begin spending their free time together. Shen Xinghan is especially kind, always sharing her tastiest snacks with Bai Shuwei first. During one of these moments, as Shen Xinghan offers her a treat, Bai Shuwei hesitates. She looks at them and asks if they aren't disgusted by her because she smells so bad. She explains she's sorry for not trusting them, but since she was little, she has always been ostracized by everyone. Having someone be nice to her feels so unreal that she thinks she must be dreaming. Bai Shuwei looks up in surprise when Shen Xinghan tells her firmly that this is not a dream. Shen Xinghan smiles gently and says she knows what it's like, so she would never be disgusted by her. She declares that as long as Bai Shuwei is willing, they will be friends forever, pulling a slightly exasperated Lin Zicheng into the promise. Overcome with emotion, Bai Shuwei tightly hugs Shen Xinghan. Tears of gratitude stream down her face as she thanks them for their kindness. After composing herself, she tells them she wants to give them a gift in return. She holds out a necklace with a pair of beast fangs, explaining it was a birthday present from her mother. She gives it to them, hoping it can be a symbol of their friendship. Shen Xinghan enthusiastically agrees, and the three children stand together in the schoolyard as the sun sets, joyfully declaring they will be friends forever. However, just as their newfound friendship was solidified, the unexpected happened. One day, Shen Xinghan is stunned to learn that Bai Shuwei has transferred out of the school. Lin Zicheng confirms it, revealing that he saw her filling out the withdrawal papers. He flashes back to watching from the principal's office doorway. He saw Bai Shuwei with the principal and a large, intimidating man with cybernetic arms. The principal assured the man that Bai Shuwei's paperwork was complete and her information would be kept confidential. The encounter confirmed Lin Zicheng's suspicions that Bai Shuwei's identity was not simple. From that day on, he never saw Bai Shuwei again, left to wonder about her. But he notes that the events that followed were what truly captured his attention. Sometime later, Lin Zicheng is at home giving his mother, Zhang Wangxin, a shoulder massage. She sighs in relief, telling him the massage is perfect after a long day of typing. Lin Zicheng internally notes that he learned professional massage techniques thanks to his celestial root of wisdom and is surprised by its usefulness. Their quiet evening is interrupted by a major news report. It features another incredible achievement by the Kyoto prodigy. At just 10 years old, the boy has successfully fused with aberrant beast genes and can now lift a 500 kilograms boulder with one hand. Lin Zicheng recognizes the boy and realizes with a jolt that his rival has already begun gene fusion. His father, Lin Yansheng, complains that the Kyoto prodigy is always on TV, questioning if they are trying to turn him into an influencer. The parents discuss it. Lin Yansheng explains the boy is from a 1,000-year-old martial arts family, so they likely have advanced gene fusion technology. Zhang Wangxin argues it's wrong to use a child as a guinea pig. Her husband counters that for such a family interests come first, earning a sarcastic, "you know everything" from his wife. While his parents bicker, Lin Zicheng is deep in thought. He recalls that before the fusion, the prodigy could lift 100 kilograms. Now he can lift 500 kilograms, a five-fold increase. In comparison, Lin Zicheng, at only 8, can already lift a 300 kilograms weight with one hand without any gene fusion. He concludes with a confident fist pump that his own potential is far greater. His confidence was soaring, but that feeling was short-lived. The next news report taught him the true meaning of fear. Breaking news shows a city in a neighboring country completely devastated by a massive explosion. The report states that based on footage, the attack was carried out by giant, aberrant rats. The screen shows horrifying images of monstrous rats swarming the ruins, capturing a screaming woman in their massive jaws, and then brutally devouring her. The news report continues, confirming heretics were responsible for the aberrant rat attack, fanning the flames from the shadows. At a press conference, an official from the devastated Sakura country pleads for international aid, explaining the heretics are a shadowy cult manipulating the beasts. Watching the news, Lin Zicheng learns the cult is an anti-human organization of traitors who serve the aberrant beasts for their own gain. He feels relieved to be born in a powerful, stable country, giving him a safe place to grow stronger while laying low. His thoughts are shattered by sonic booms outside. He rushes to the window and pulls back the curtain to see a squadron of heavily armed cyborgs flying through the night sky. He wonders why so many are being deployed, hoping nothing bad is happening. The next morning, everything seems normal. Lin Zicheng waits for Shen Xinghan, who runs up, apologizing for being late. As she approaches, he notices something strange. The beast Fang necklace Bai Shui gave them, now worn by Shen Xinghan, emits a bright blue glow. He realizes the Fang is from an aberrant beast and the source of the faint, non-human aura he'd sensed from her. The glow fades as quickly as it appeared, and the two don't think much of it. However, between the cyborgs and the Fang's reaction, Lin Zicheng feels that something bad is about to happen. On their way to school, a striking woman with long red hair and a black dress leans against a lamppost, watching them. She comments on what adorable kids they are and steps in front of them, asking if they are brother and sister. Shen Xinghan proudly corrects her, explaining they are childhood best friends. The woman smiles wistfully, remarking how she wishes she had a childhood friend too. Then, her expression turns sinister. She leans in, eyes glinting, and asks why they're going to school alone and where their parents are. As Shen Xinghan begins to answer, Lin Zicheng quickly grabs her hand, cutting her off. He pulls her along, stating they're going to be late, leaving the mysterious woman behind. Once a safe distance away, he gently scolds Shen Xinghan, reminding her not to talk to strangers. She nods. After school, Lin Zicheng leads them through a deserted alleyway. Shen Xinghan nervously comments on how creepy it is. Lin Zicheng explains the area is scheduled for demolition, and everyone has already moved out. Their walk is interrupted by a familiar voice. The red-haired woman from the morning appears, commenting on how they are finally out of school. She's not alone. A large, muscular man named Sheng is with her. The woman tells Sheng she's got the kids over here. Lin Zicheng is alarmed. He had deliberately chosen a different route, but she had somehow followed them. The woman tries to lure them closer with a sweet voice, offering them treats. Her accomplice, Sheng, grows impatient. He tells her to stop talking and just knock the kids out so they can get it over with. Without another word, Sheng rushes toward them with a cloth, shouting he's in a hurry to sell them for cash. As he closes in, Lin Zicheng shoves Shen Xinghan out of the way and squares up to face him. He clenches his fist and throws a powerful punch with all his might. The blow connects squarely with Sheng's face, stopping the larger man in his tracks. The immense force sends Sheng flying backward down the alley with a pained cry. The red-haired woman watches in utter disbelief, shocked that an elementary schooler could send a grown man flying. On the ground, Sheng coughs up blood, stunned. With Sheng down, Lin Zicheng turns to the red-haired woman. Before she can react, he lands a solid punch to her midsection, followed by a powerful uppercut that knocks her unconscious. Standing over the defeated kidnappers, his expression hardens. He picks up a nearby brick, his intentions grim. He reasons that with no cameras in the deserted alley, he must finish them off. If they live, his superhuman powers will be exposed, ruining his plan to lay low and grow stronger. Just as he is about to deliver the final blow, the ground trembles violently. A powerful earthquake shakes the alley, catching them off guard. A moment later, a massive, clawed hand smashes through a nearby building wall. A monstrous giant aberrant rat emerges from the dust and rubble, towering over them. The beast ignores the children and looms over the unconscious woman. But instead of devouring her, it decapitates her with a swift swipe of its claws. The rat then picks up her severed head as Shin Qinghan screams in terror. Recognizing the danger, Lin Zichen scoops the horrified Shin Qinghan into his arms. He tells her it's a giant aberrant rat, and they have to get to safety. He turns and sprints away, carrying her as they flee. As they escape, a flash of red and gold streaks through the sky. A female cyborg with blonde hair and rabbit ear attachments on her helmet dives into the alley. She moves with incredible speed, a blur of motion as she zips past the rat. Shin Qinghan, looking over Lin Zichen's shoulder, exclaims how unbelievably fast the cyborg is. The cyborg lands gracefully behind the monster. Facing the rat, the female cyborg prepares her attack. Her gauntlet glows as she charges her weapon and announces anesthetic smoke. She fires projectiles at the monster, causing massive explosions that rock the alley. Lin Zichen shields Shin Qinghan from the blast. The aberrant rat is caught in the fiery explosions, roaring in pain, and is left dazed by the anesthetic smoke. Seeing her opening, the cyborg surges forward and finishes off the weakened beast in a flurry of strikes. Later, Lin Zichen watches a news report about the incident at home. He analyzes the fight, concluding the cyborg's power level probably isn't very high. He reasons she had to weaken the rat first, and it still took her 7 minutes to kill it. He reflects on the danger of giant aberrant rats, knowing they are tough creatures that can grow over 10 meters long and reach ordinary 5th tier. Fortunate that they escaped unharmed, the incident reminds him of the world's dangers. He resolves to increase his training to protect himself and those he cares about. He is later seen in his training space, doing weighted squats with a heavy barbell, his system rewarding him with points. Although the threat of aberrant rats looms, life continues. Soon, he and Shin Qinghan celebrate their 9th birthday with both families around a large cake. After making wishes, they exchange gifts. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom, Lin Zichen had taught himself to carve in one night and crafted an intricate wooden hairpin for Shin Qinghan. She is overjoyed, placing it in her hair and exclaiming how much she loves it. Time passes quickly, and soon, Lin Zichen and Shin Qinghan graduate from elementary school and start middle school. As they leave, his system notifies him that he has completed the dominate 9 years of compulsory education achievement, unlocking the kindergarten kid king and elementary school top dog titles. He becomes excited to unlock the middle school overlord title next, which will grant him the survival of the fittest attribute. During the break, he sticks to a high-intensity training regimen. His training includes 1,000 push-ups with a massive boulder on his back, granting him huge stat boosts. His hard work pays off. Just before school begins, after a 10-kilometer run, his system announces his biological level has broken through to ordinary 3rd tier. His physical attributes increase dramatically. He can now lift 700 kilograms with one hand, has a vertical jump of 4 meters, and can run the 100-meter dash in 6 seconds. As his power grows, he wonders what level the Kyoto prodigy has reached. Coincidentally, a news story airs on TV the night before school starts. The report reveals the now 14-year-old prodigy has fused with giant ant genes and can lift a 2,000-kilogram alloy block with one hand. Lin Zichen calculates that since giant ant genes increase strength by a factor of 4 to 8, the prodigy's true lift without the gene enhancement is only around 500 kilograms. This means Lin Zichen is still fundamentally stronger. He smiles, imagining how powerful he will become with future gene fusion. The next day, middle school begins. Because he was the city's top student, all the best middle schools tried to recruit him. He accepted the invitation from Shanghai Middle School, but only if Shin Qinghan could be in his class. During registration, they are welcomed by the principal and their new homeroom teacher, who express how much they are counting on him. After a few pleasantries, he makes an excuse and leaves with Shin Qinghan. The real reason he chose Shanghai Middle School was for its excellent athletic facilities. They had planned to play badminton on the school's court before classes officially started. On the court, an excited Shin Qinghan tells Lin Zichen, a group of upperclassmen approaches, and their leader, in a backward cap, snatches the shuttlecock, informing them the court is reserved. His friends mockingly offer to let Shin Changhan stay and spar with them. Shin Changhan stands her ground, telling them they have to follow the rules, and they were there first. Lin Zikin, seeing them get too close to Shin Changhan, steps in with a cold expression. He tells them to get away from her, and reminds them of the first come, first served rule. The leader scoffs, arrogantly declaring he is taking the court. The leader holds the shuttlecock and tosses it up, but before he can serve, Lin Zikin moves. He declares that from now on, his rules are the only ones that matter. With a surge of power, he leaps and smashes the shuttlecock with incredible force. The shuttlecock rockets across the court, a white blur. It moves so fast, the leader barely has time to react. The force of the impact shatters his racket and sends his cap flying. The upperclassmen are left in shock, sweating and trembling. They wonder if Lin Zikin is even human, questioning if he's a gene fuser. One notes with terror that if the shot had been off by a little, their boss's head would have been taken off. Thoroughly intimidated, the upperclassmen bow deeply in apology. They tell Lin Zikin they understand the rules now and will be leaving immediately. They then beat a hasty retreat. Perhaps because word of the incident spread, no one ever dared to bully Lin Zikin or Shin Changhan again. Aside from being bigger with better facilities, their new school life felt much the same. Academically, Lin Zikin was far ahead, having finished the middle school curriculum long ago. During class, he would read interesting books to pass the time. At night, after workouts, he would use his celestial root of wisdom to learn new skills online, quickly dabbling in cooking, photography, driving, swimming, and various sports. To unlock the middle school overlord title, he didn't just rank first in every subject. He also represented the school in national competitions. He stood amidst a mountain of trophies. To keep a low profile, he was careful not to win first place in every competition. A semester went by, and the title still hadn't unlocked. However, his performances earned him many fangirls who left stacks of love letters on his desk. He ignored them. Aside from tutoring Shin Changhan, he focused on the upcoming school sports festival. He believed that if he completely dominated it, he should finally unlock the title. For the festival, he entered only 3 events: shot put, high jump, and sprinting, representing strength, jumping, and speed. He achieved an astonishing 201-meter throw in the shot put. Although he held back to avoid seeming too superhuman, he still easily took first place in all his events. Just as he was sitting with Shin Changhan, admiring his gold medal, he felt a new power surge through his body. A system notification appeared, announcing that because his achievements far surpassed every other student, he had unlocked the middle school overlord title. With all 3 school-age titles unlocked, the dominate 9 years of compulsory education achievement was complete, and he had obtained the new biological attribute, survival of the fittest. As the power flowed through him, he realized with satisfaction that the title had finally unlocked. As Lin Zicheng and Shin Changhan leave school, he considers his new survival of the fittest attribute. The ability lets a predator devour the life essence of other creatures to evolve. He wonders what life essence is, lost in thought until Shin Changhan calls for him to wait. Snapping back to reality, he gets an idea. He asks Shin Changhan if he can borrow her beast Fong necklace. She agrees and hands it to him. The moment his fingers touch the Fong, a system notification appears. It informs him he has devoured a trace of the abyssal giant butterfly's life essence, unlocking a new guidebook with 1% progress. A spectral image of a massive, dark butterfly with eyes on its wings appears around him. He is stunned to realize the Fong is a butterfly's tooth. That night, hoping to learn more, he searches for abyssal giant butterfly online. To his surprise, the search returns no results. Realizing he'll have to study this exotic beast on his own, he remembers Bai Shu had given them a pair of fangs. He rummages through his bag and finds the second tooth. Holding the second Fong, he once again absorbs its power. Another system notification confirms he has devoured a second trace of life essence, but the guidebook progress only increases to 2%. He looks at the Fong with disappointment, realizing there isn't much life essence left in it. He concludes he must find another way to unlock the abyssal giant butterfly's full power. The next day after school, to boost his training and ensure a quick escape route from any aberrant beasts, Lin Zichen starts biking Shin Changhan to and from school every day. As they leave the school grounds, a man calls out to him. Zichen, the man in a tracksuit, stops them and introduces himself as Coach Guo from the school's martial arts team. He praises Lin Zichen's performance at the sports meet as the best in school history. With great enthusiasm, Coach Guo formally invites him to join the team, insisting his athletic talent surpasses his academic abilities. He urges Lin Zichen to say yes, but also offers him time to learn about the team before deciding. Coach Gua speaks so quickly and passionately that Lin Zichen doesn't get a chance to say no. Waving goodbye as they ride off, the coach tells them the martial arts team is in room C of the gym and that he'll be waiting for him if he's free to visit the next day. As the sun sets, Lin Zichen is back in his room, ready to test his new ability. He claps his hands, squashing a cockroach and a mosquito he found. He opens his hands to examine the dead insects, but feels no power surge. He realizes killing such small, ordinary creatures didn't trigger the skill. He deduces that only powerful or exotic beasts carry enough life essence to be devoured for his evolution. To verify his new theory, Lin Zichen decides to visit a supermarket that sells beast meat. With Shin Chang-han on the back, he bikes them into the city. They soon arrive at a large, multi-story supermarket. Inside, they walk through the aisles and Lin Zichen notes that while there is plenty of beast meat, it's all pre-packaged. He knows he can't test his theory without touching the meat. Just as he's feeling frustrated, he hears a butcher advertising fresh-cut beast meat. He spots a counter with a sign reading, "Fresh beast meat, not pre-packaged, safe to eat," where a butcher is cutting up large sides of meat. Telling a confused Shin Chang-han to wait, he says he's going to check out the meat. He doesn't explain further, eager to confirm his suspicions, and rushes to the counter. He reaches out and places his hand on a slice of freshly cut beast meat. The moment he makes contact, a powerful surge of purple energy flows into him. Just as he thought, the beast meat contains a strong surge of life essence. He clenches his fist in excitement, a wide grin on his face. Shin Chang-han watches, bewildered, wondering why he is so excited just from touching meat. She approaches him with a look of confused concern, asking how the meat feels. Trying to play it cool, Lin Zichen casually tells a bewildered Shin Chang-han that the meat just feels fresher than normal, and asks if she wants to touch it too. She frantically waves her hands and refuses, saying he has touched it enough for both of them. Having confirmed his theory, Lin Zichen decides to buy some of the beast meat to try at home, surprising Shin Chang-han. He isn't surprised by her reaction, knowing beast meat is incredibly expensive. Even the cheapest option, the ghost shadow squid, costs nearly 1,000 yen per jin. Deciding to go with the squid, he picks up a package. Shin Chang-han panics at the price, telling him it's too expensive and that he should ask his mother first. Lin Zichen simply smiles and pats her head reassuringly. He tells her not to worry, making up a lie that his mom had already told him to buy plenty for both of their families. A flashback shows his mother, Zhang Wangxin, happily agreeing to cook a feast. Internally, Lin Zichen admits that while sharing is part of his plan, his other, more important reason is to test if he can absorb life essence through consumption, as he worries direct absorption might spoil the meat. At the checkout, he buys 3 packages of the ghost shadow squid for a hefty 29.94 yen. The female cashier thanks him. As they leave, Lin Zichen thinks about how expensive the meat was, wondering when they'll be able to afford it again. By the time they finish shopping, it is after 9 p.m. Knowing the city has been chaotic lately, they decide to head straight home for safety. On the ride home, Lin Zichen can't stop thinking about his experiment. Unable to wait, he discreetly places his hand on the package of meat in the basket. He immediately feels a familiar surge of purple energy. His system confirms he has devoured a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence. A new guidebook for the creature is unlocked, but his progress is only 0.1%. A spectral image of the menacing, multi-eyed squid appears in his mind.
As they bike through the quiet streets, he does some mental math. He realizes devouring a small amount of meat only unlocked a fraction of its power. He estimates he'd need to devour 100 jins to reach 100% on the guidebook, costing a staggering 100,000 yen. He considers the squid's special ability, to dissolve into water and vanish, and decides the powerful skill is worth the price. His course is clear. He needs to make a huge sum of money, as he can't ask his family for that much. He then remembers his second reason for buying the meat, to test if absorbing its life essence would cause it to spoil. He glances at the package. It's been a while, but the meat looks perfectly fresh. He grins, delighted that absorbing the essence doesn't ruin the meat. As he continues to absorb its power, his progress bar for the squid climbs to 3%. His concentration is broken when Shin Chang-han shouts a warning. He slams on the brakes, screeching to a halt just inches from a couple in the bike lane, and apologizes. He scolds himself for not watching where he was going, then wonders why the lane is so crowded. Shin Chang-han points ahead. They see a tense standoff. A muscular red-haired man is holding a woman hostage at knife point. Shin Chang-han recognizes the hostage in terror as their teacher, Chao Mei. The man shouts threats at the crowd. The area is surrounded by police officers, who try to de-escalate the situation through a megaphone. The police captain holds back an officer, Ah Bing, telling him not to shoot recklessly. The captain explains the target is too close to the hostage and using her as a shield, making a clean shot impossible. The officer suggests sleeping gas, but the captain rejects it, fearing it would provoke the suspect before it could take effect. While the police hesitate, Lin Zicheng decides to act. He discreetly picks up a small rock from the pavement and flicks it with incredible speed and precision. The rock strikes Officer Ah Bing's gun, causing it to misfire. The stray bullet hits the hostage-taker's hand, forcing him to cry out and drop his knife, releasing Teacher Chow Mei. Seizing the opportunity, the police captain yells for his team to move in. The officers rush forward and swiftly arrest the disarmed suspect, while a female officer comforts the terrified but unharmed teacher, Chow Mei. As the situation is controlled, Lin Zicheng quietly gets back on his bike. Shen Xinghan looks at him with wide, questioning eyes and asks if he threw the rock. He quickly shushes her, saying they should leave and talk later, and they pedal away. Just as they are about to get away, a voice commands them to stop. The police captain calls out, asking if Lin Zicheng was the one who threw the rock. Panicked at being caught, Lin Zicheng quickly denies everything with a nervous smile. The captain watches them pedal away, finding it strange that someone wouldn't want to admit to a good deed. He muses aloud that there's a reward for bravery. The word reward instantly catches Lin Zicheng's attention. Needing money, he slams on his brakes, skids to a halt, and rushes back to the captain. He sheepishly retracts his denial, admitting he threw the rock and explaining that the money is really important to him. The captain tells him to come to the station to make a report, promising to help him apply for the reward. After informing their families, Lin Zicheng and Shen Xinghan prepare to head to the police station. He assumes everything will go smoothly, but as the police lead the cuffed suspect away, something goes horribly wrong. The suspect's face begins to twist grotesquely. The police realize with horror that he's a heretic and is mutating into a giant, aberrant rat right before their eyes. The monster breaks its cuffs and goes on a rampage, swiping its massive claws at the officers. The police captain gets on his radio, ordering all forces to open fire but to protect the civilians. The officers unload their weapons, but the bullets have no effect. A frantic report comes in, identifying the heretic as having fused with Rat King genes and calling for immediate backup. Realizing the danger, Lin Zicheng apologizes, grabs both of them and pulls them away, urging them to run. He is relieved the monster isn't chasing them but knows they need to get away fast. As they flee, a new figure streaks down from the sky in a purple aura. It's a female cyborg in sleek, futuristic armor. She lands a powerful blow on the giant rat, sending it staggering backward. Hovering in the air, the cyborg, a woman with short, dark purple hair, begins to charge a laser cannon in her chest. With a command to fire, she unleashes a massive, devastating beam of purple energy that engulfs the mutant rat. The creature roars in agony as it is completely disintegrated, leaving nothing but scorched remains. Lin Zicheng watches, stunned by the cyborg's incredible power. With the threat gone, Teacher Chow Mei and Shen Xinghan breathe sighs of relief. Lin Zicheng, however, is more concerned about his bike, noting with relief that the blast didn't hit it, which would have been a huge financial loss. Just as the tension subsides, he has a sudden realization. He looks into the bike's basket and sees the expensive ghost shadow squid meat is spoiled, giving off a foul smell. He now understands his initial theory was correct. Absorbing the life essence causes the meat to spoil, but there's a delay. Holding up a limp tentacle, he realizes he needs an excuse and decides to blame the fight and the now deceased heretic. Putting on a dramatic show, he throws the spoiled tentacle down, loudly blaming the heretic and the cyborg's attack for roasting the meat. Teacher Chow Mei comforts him, saying what matters is that they're all safe. Although they plan to go home, at the captain's request, they end up riding with the security team to the station. They didn't expect to be transported in the same van as the heretic's remains. After the laser blast, all that was left was a pile of scorched flesh on a gurney and the smell was intense. As he sits in the foul-smelling van, another thought strikes Lin Zicheng. He remembers that the beast fangs from Baishu still contained life essence long after the creature was dead. A new possibility dawns on him. Could there be life essence left in this corpse as well? And if so, could he devour the corpse's Rat King gene for himself? Sitting in the police van, Lin Zicheng wonders how much of the Rat King gene he can devour from the heretic's scorched corpse. Deciding to find out, he discreetly reaches his hand towards the remains. The moment he makes contact, he feels a powerful surge of red energy. His system confirms he has devoured a trace of the giant mutant rat's life essence, unlocking its guidebook with an impressive 5% progress. He is shocked by how much he absorbed and realizes the freshness of the source is directly proportional to the amount of life essence he can obtain. The escorting officer, Ah Bing, notices his movement and tells him to sit still. Lin Zixing quickly claims he just needed to stretch. Later, at the public security office, he knows that while Ah Bing was easy to fool, the security captain is sharper. The captain informs Lin Zixing that he has applied for his bravery reward, but then questions him more seriously. He asks how a middle schooler, at such a distance and in poor lighting, managed to so precisely hit the heretic's knife hand with a rock. Lin Zixing gives a vague answer, claiming it's because he often trains his right hand. The odd response leaves the captain speechless. Their conversation is interrupted when Shen Xinghan calls out that her auntie is here. Lin Zixing is surprised to see his parents rush into the station. His mother runs towards him in a panic, calling his name with a terrified expression. She throws her arms around him in a tight hug, asking if he's alright and telling him he scared her half to death. He tries to calm her, reassuring her that he's fine and even got a bravery reward. Holding him close, his mother makes him promise that next time there's danger, he will hide somewhere safe first. She tells him with tears in her eyes that all she wants is to see him grow up safe. Lin Zixing is visibly moved by his mother's heartfelt concern. As they leave, Lin Zixing reassures his mother he will always protect himself first. The police captain watches them go, still pondering the boy's strange abilities. On their way out, Lin Zixing passes two female police officers discussing the case. One remarks that perverts are getting more brazen, and her colleague reveals the heretic was a liberal arts student from Guanyuan University, brainwashed by the rat god cult. The first officer curses the cult, but the second points out they need to eliminate the root cause, the self-proclaimed Rat King. The name instantly catches Lin Zixing's attention. In the car home, he immediately starts researching the rat god cult on his phone, surprised to find a ton of information. He learns the cult's main base is in Shanghai City, and most of its members are societal outcasts. He uncovers a shocking piece of information suggesting the Rat King wants to evolve into a higher life form, and is forcing its followers to gather evolution materials. This leads him to a chilling question. Has the Rat King, an aberrant beast, already developed sentience? His thoughts are interrupted when he glances out the window and sees a giant rat, nearly the size of a cat on the sidewalk. For a moment, he wonders if it's related to the Rat King, but quickly dismisses the idea, telling himself that in the South, cat-sized rats aren't that unusual. Shaking off the thought, he realizes how quiet Shen Chenghan has been. He looks over and sees her squirming uncomfortably, her knees pressed tightly together. He immediately understands. He recalls that ever since she was a child, whenever she gets nervous or startled, she can't control her bladder. While embarrassing for her, Lin Zixing has always felt this peculiar reaction might be linked to some hidden potential within her. When they get home, Lin Zixing's mother, Zhang Wangxin, is shocked that the nearly 3,000 yen worth of beast meat is gone. Lin Zixing quickly thinks of an excuse, sheepishly claiming that during the emergency, he must have dropped it while running away. His mother immediately puts his safety first, telling him to forget the meat and that all that matters is he is unharmed. Lin Zixing breathes an internal sigh of relief, glad he fooled his mother. However, his father, Lin Yansheng, is more stubborn. He announces he is going back to look for the expensive meat, boasting that a fated wage slave like him is tough. Lin Zixing tries to stop him, arguing it's too dangerous and the meat is already spoiled. His father becomes suspicious, asking how he could know it had gone bad. Sweating nervously, Lin Zixing quickly claims it was an obvious guess. Meanwhile, back at the now empty public security office, the police captain is still pondering the night's strange events. As he smokes a cigarette, he can't shake the question of how an ordinary middle schooler could have thrown a rock with such incredible power and precision. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise from the corner. His eyes widen in shock as he sees a massive rat, far larger than any normal rodent, perched on top of the filing cabinets. Before he can react, the giant rat leaps down. The captain instantly draws his pistol and opens fire. The confrontation is swift and violent, ending in a bloody blur. The next day in class, Lin Zixing sighs at his desk. Reflecting on the previous night, he concludes he is still too weak compared to the powerful heretic and the female cyborg. He needs to make money fast to buy more beast meat like the ghost shadow squid to fill his guidebook's progress bar. He considers becoming an influencer or selling study materials, but dismisses the idea as too flashy and against his goal of keeping a low profile. Suddenly, an idea strikes him. He remembers that in this world, martial arts and gene fusion are more important than academics. He decides it's time to act. Later, he heads to the gym where the martial arts team practices in Building C. He finds Coach Gua drinking from a thermos and greets him. A surprised Coach Gua asks if he is there to join or just to learn more about the team. Instead of answering, Lin Ziqin leans in and discreetly asks if joining the team offers a chance to compete in city tournaments and if the prize money is high. The coach smiles, confirming he would have a chance and that prizes are worth tens of thousands. With his main concern addressed, Lin Ziqin shakes the coach's hand and announces he is joining the martial arts team today. Coach Gua happily welcomes him. The coach gathers the team to announce their new member. He introduces Lin Ziqin, reminding them of his performance as the sports meet champion. The other team members, Zhang Kai, Huang Tianqing, Orishing, Li Shadong, and Han Yigui introduce themselves. Finally, Lin Ziqin introduces himself. Since Lin Ziqin has no formal martial arts training, Coach Gua demonstrates basic fist and leg techniques. The coach explains the moves look simple but are difficult to master, noting that the team's fastest learner, Li Shadong, took a week to perfect them. He then encourages Lin Ziqin to try. Lin Ziqin assumes a ready stance. Thanks to his celestial root of wisdom attribute, which grants him heaven-sent martial insight, he has already memorized and understood every detail of the demonstration just by watching. As he practices the fist techniques, a system notification awards him points in vitality, strength, dexterity, and proficiency. He executes the hand and fist movements with flawless precision and speed. He transitions seamlessly into the leg techniques, performing powerful fluid kicks. Another system notification grants him points for his leg muscles, dexterity, and proficiency. The coach and the team watch in stunned silence. The coach's jaw drops, and he almost fumbles his thermos, unable to believe it. He wonders how someone could learn the complex forms perfectly after one look. Staring at the flawless performance, a single thought forms in his mind. He must be a once-in-a-million martial arts prodigy. That evening in Shanghai, Lin Ziqin's mother, Zhang Wanxin, calls him for dinner. He rushes out eagerly, spoon in hand, asking what she made. She proudly presents a large platter of the ghost shadow squid he wanted. The aroma is incredible, and he tells his mother how amazing it smells. She urges him to eat while it's hot. He takes a bite and praises her cooking is the best in the world. Pleased, she tells him to eat a lot, as she bought 3 full gins for him. As he eats, a system notification appears. He has devoured a trace of the ghost shadow squid's life essence by consuming it, bringing his guidebook progress to 3.01%. He realizes with frustration that eating the meat works just as well. If he had known, he wouldn't have spoiled the first batch by touching it. While they eat, a news report catches their attention. It's about a 14-year-old genius girl, the youngest cyborg in history after fusing with an energy core. Her energy system grants her superhuman abilities, lifting a 5,000-kilogram SUV with one hand, sprinting 100 meters in 3 seconds, and jumping 8 meters vertically. Watching this, Lin Ziqin ponders the debate in his world. Between the Kyoto prodigy's gene fusion and this girl's cybernetics, which path is stronger? His thoughts are interrupted by another breaking news story. It announces that the security captain they met, He Chunshan, was killed in his office. Surveillance footage showed he was attacked and devoured by a giant mutant rat that infiltrated the station. Medics are shown wheeling his body into an ambulance. Lin Ziqin is horrified. He recalls the large rat he saw the night before and wonders if it was connected. He imagines a giant rat rampaging through the city. The captain's death is a grim reminder of the escalating danger. Staring intently, Lin Ziqin decides he must intensify his training immediately. Following the police captain's death, Lin Ziqin dedicates himself to a grueling training regimen. After intense practice, he can now sprint 100 meters in a blistering 4.61 seconds. His physical power has skyrocketed. His vertical jump is 5.3 meters, and he can lift an astounding 1,200 kilograms with one hand. In addition to his personal training, he continues his martial arts practice with the school team, hoping to boost his strength quickly for the upcoming tournament. The next morning at school, he heads to the gym to practice, with a curious Shen Qinghan tagging along. On their way, a girl with pink hair warmly greets Lin Ziqin and offers him a bottle of fresh milk. He politely declines, thanking her, and walks past with Shen Qinghan, leaving the girl disappointed. Watching from a distance is his teammate, Zhang Kai. He clenches his fist in anger, resentful that the person who beat him at the sports meet is rejecting a gift from the girl he admires. Unable to contain his frustration, Zhang Kai rushes forward and blocks their path. He confronts Lin Ziqing, scolding him for his poor manners and for hurting the girl's feelings. When Lin Ziqing calmly explains he is allergic to milk, Zhang Kai refuses to believe him and calls him a liar. Enraged, Zhang Kai points at Lin Ziqing and challenges him to a spar. He sets the terms. If he loses, he will never bother Lin Ziqing again, but if Lin Ziqing loses, he must drink the whole bottle of milk. Just as the challenge is issued, a new system notification appears. A new achievement mission has been triggered. Defeat 1,000 different opponents in formal competition for the survival of the fittest biological trait. A sly grin spreads across Lin Ziqing's face. This is the opportunity he has been waiting for. Surrounded by a menacing purple aura, he accepts the challenge, his eyes glinting with anticipation as he agrees to the
Word of the duel spreads quickly through the school. Two students excitedly decide to go watch the fight between the popular junior, Lin Ziqing, and a senior. By the time they are ready, the gym is packed with onlookers in a large circle around the sparring area. The crowd is clearly on Lin Ziqing's side. Many of his female fans cheer him on, telling him to teach his opponent a lesson, including the pink-haired girl from earlier who gets her phone ready. Zhang Kai scoffs, annoyed that everyone assumes he will lose. He internally admits Lin Ziqing's talent has grown incredibly over the past month. He sees this duel as his last chance to put the rising genius in his place and show off his own strength. In contrast to his opponent's intensity, Lin Ziqing seems unfazed. He casually states that he needs to go home for dinner and asks if they can make the fight quick. Taking this as an insult, Zhang Kai smirks and agrees to grant his wish. Coach Guo steps between them to officiate. He raises his hand to start, reminding them of the rules. However, before the fight begins, Zhang Kai shouts for them to wait. With a condescending grin, he offers Lin Ziqing a handicap. He points out that he has trained for nearly 2 years, while Lin Ziqing is a novice of only a month. To be fair, he declares he will let Lin Ziqing have the first 3 moves. Lin Ziqing simply agrees. The moment he agrees, Lin Ziqing explodes into motion. He closes the distance in a blur, catching Zhang Kai by surprise. Before his opponent can raise his guard, Lin Ziqing unleashes a single devastating punch. The blow connects with brutal force, sending blood flying from Zhang Kai's nose. He is knocked out instantly, collapsing unconscious on the gym floor. The entire gym is stunned into silence. Coach Guo's jaw drops as he stares in disbelief, shouting that the fight was over in one punch. The rest of the martial arts team and the crowd are equally shocked, calling the outcome ridiculous, unable to process that the duel was over in a single second. The silence is broken by a roar of celebration. Shen Xinghan throws her fist in the air, ecstatically cheering for Lin Ziqing's victory. The other girls, including the one with pink hair, join in, shouting about how amazing he was. Standing over his defeated opponent, Lin Ziqing receives a system notification. It informs him that by defeating a rival and winning the affection of the opposite sex, he has obtained priority mating rights. More importantly, his new mission progress is now 1,000. He reflects that he has a long way to go to unlock the natural selection attribute. To speed up his progress, he turns to the remaining terrified members of the martial arts team. With a friendly but unsettling smile, he suggests they should all spar as well. The team members stare back, their faces pale with horror. Immediately, they all start making pathetic excuses. One has cram school, another's mother is waiting for dinner, while others pretend to feel sick. Before they can flee, Zhang Kai struggles to his knees. He refuses to accept his loss, furiously accusing Lin Ziqing of a sneak attack and vowing to crush him in a rematch. Coach Guo steps in, telling Zhang Kai to accept his loss like a man. The coach then wonders aloud if the punch was just a lucky shot, deciding to test the theory on another team member named Xiao Liji. Hearing his name, a spiky-haired boy freezes in terror. Though he assumes a fighting stance, he is clearly terrified, begging Lin Ziqing for mercy and not to hit his face. 10 minutes later, the results are clear. Several martial arts team members are lying unconscious on the gym floor. Lin Ziqing stands over them, noting he made sure not to go too hard on them and just exchanged a few blows. However, when he checks his system again, he is disappointed. Aside from the initial victory, none of the other spars counted toward his achievement. The rival count remains at 1 to 1,000. He realizes friendly sparring isn't enough. He has to defeat rivals in an official competition. As he thinks about this, a hand claps his shoulder. Coach Guo grins manically, declaring that Lin Ziqing is a true genius. He exclaims that in just over a month the newcomer has become the team's ace. Filled with new confidence, the coach proclaims that with Lin Ziqing leading, their school will crush all others and take first place at this year's regional martial arts tournament. As Coach Gua celebrates, Lin Zichen has a moment of clarity. He realizes the coach is right. The upcoming tournament is the perfect opportunity to face many official opponents at once. He becomes determined, understanding that as long as he defeats them in an official competition, each victory should count toward his progress. His thoughts are interrupted when a defeated Zhang Kai calls his name. Having regained consciousness, Zhang Kai stands, points at Lin Zichen, and formally accepts his loss with a bizarre and overly graphic declaration of submission. His strange words leave everyone, including Shen Xinghan, Coach Gua, and Lin Zichen, completely shocked and disturbed. With the duel over, the spectators and coach quickly flee, leaving a bewildered Zhang Kai alone, complaining he hadn't finished his speech. In this world, high schoolers must choose between martial arts or academics. Given the world's dangers, the martial arts class is considered the superior choice. Determined not to be left behind, Shen Xinghan decides to join the martial arts class and begins training rigorously with Lin Zichen. Their daily routine is intense. They start with a 3,000-meter run, followed by an hour of hand-to-hand combat practice. After that, they do sit-ups and push-ups to build strength. To conclude each session, Lin Zichen gives Shen Xinghan a massage to relieve her muscle tension. Of course, Lin Zichen doesn't slack on his own training. He pushes himself to the limit daily, driven by the goal of winning the tournament and unlocking the natural selection attribute as quickly as possible. 1 month later, all their hard work is about to be tested. The day of the regional martial arts tournament has arrived, and a determined Lin Zichen is ready to compete. The tournament is at the massive city gymnasium with a huge crowd around a central fighting ring. In the waiting area, the mood is tense. Coach Gui nervously reviews the roster, complaining that their school, Shanghai High, drew a match against the strongest team, Shanghai No. 1 High. Another team member adds to the anxiety, mentioning their opponents have a fighter who can run the 100-meter dash in under 9 seconds, leaving them feeling outmatched. Sensing the team's low morale, Lin Zichen calmly raises his hand and volunteers to fight first. Though still worried, Coach Gua agrees to let his ace take the stage. As Lin Zichen walks into the arena, Shen Xinghan cheers him on from the sidelines, while Coach Gua shouts encouragement through a megaphone. Lin Zichen readies himself for the fight. His opponent, a much larger and more muscular student from Shanghai No. 1 High, steps forward. He acknowledges Lin Zichen's talent for making it to the tournament as a first year. However, his tone quickly turns mocking. He sneers that the stage isn't meant for a shorty, who hasn't even hit 1.7 meters. Flexing his bicep, he promises to show Lin Zichen what a true gap in size and power feels like. The referee signals for the duel to begin. The large opponent rushes forward, unleashing a powerful punch. To his shock, Lin Zichen doesn't retreat. He effortlessly sidesteps the blow and counters with a swift punch to his opponent's chest. The impact is devastating. The force sends the massive student flying backward across the arena, knocking him out cold. The announcer stares in stunned silence before stammering a victory for Lin Zichen. On the sidelines, Shen Xinghan jumps to her feet, cheering that her Shaoquan was amazing. The rest of the Shanghai High team erupts in celebration, mobbing their coach and shouting that Lin Zichen is insane, dismissing his opponent's strength as dead muscle. Meanwhile, on the other side, the coach for Shanghai No. 1 High is furious. He berates his defeated student for charging in blindly without using his footwork. Back in the ring, Lin Zichen receives a system notification confirming he has defeated another tournament rival, improving his ranking and bringing his elimination count to 2 to 1,000. He clenches his fist, satisfied that these matches are what he needs to advance. The opposing coach, determined to stop this, calls his next fighter forward, a boy named Chen Feng, and orders him to crush the first year as quickly as possible. Chen Feng calmly agrees. He steps onto the stage and assumes a ready stance, looking far more composed than the last fighter. The announcer signals for the second duel to begin. Chen Feng immediately showcases his superior technique, moving with incredible speed and launching a flurry of attacks. Lin Zichen calmly meets the assault, blocking a powerful kick with one hand. However, the force of his block sends Chen Feng spinning wildly through the air before he crashes hard onto the arena floor, unconscious. Medics rush in with a stretcher and carry Chen Feng away, stating he needs a head scan. The crowd is left bewildered. They murmur among themselves, questioning what just happened and speculating that the student from Shanghai High must be insanely lucky. Some angry spectators shout that the tournament must be rigged, demanding a refund. However, the coach of Shanghai No. 1 High knows better. Clutching his head in despair, he realizes with dawning horror that this isn't luck. The first year from Shanghai High is the real deal. Back in the waiting area, the coach has a new strategy. He calls his next fighter, a spiky-haired boy named Gao Fei, and gives him strict orders to focus entirely on defense, warning him that he cannot afford to lose. Gao Fei, however, is brimming with confidence. He calmly tells his coach not to worry, assuring him he will win. As he walks to the ring, Gao Fei internally dismisses Lin Zetian's victories. He believes his opponent isn't strong and has only won through tricks. With his superior speed, running the 100-meter dash in under 9 seconds, and greater experience, he is certain he can't lose. The crowd is buzzing. Spectators discuss Gao Fei's reputation, marveling at his speed. One person mentions his father is a gene fusion user, explaining his enhanced abilities. The consensus is that Lin Zetian's impressive run is about to end, though they acknowledge his great potential. The announcer signals for the duel to begin. Ignoring his coach's instructions, Gao Fei immediately goes on the offensive, lunging at Lin Zetian with a powerful kick. He follows up with rapid strikes, unleashing his special technique, the flowing water-shattering rock fist. His coach watches in fury, shouting at his disobedient student for attacking. Gao Fei scoffs at defense, believing a genius like him doesn't need it. Meanwhile, Lin Zetian, easily evading the blows, finds the technique interesting and decides to learn it on the spot. Gao Fei grows frustrated as he can't land a single hit. He stops out of breath and demands to know how Lin Zetian is dodging his attacks. Unfazed, Lin Zetian calmly asks if he has any other moves, taunting him. Enraged, Gao Fei unleashes another desperate barrage of punches. Seeing the same predictable moves, Lin Zetian decides the time for observation is over. He thinks, alright then, let's end this. He effortlessly dodges the final punch and counters with a single powerful kick to Gao Fei's midsection, ending the match instantly. The crowd is once again left in stunned, speechless silence. The silence is shattered by thunderous cheers from the Shanghai High supporters. Coach Guo and Shen Xinghan are ecstatic, shouting that their Xiao Chen is a beast and celebrating his third consecutive victory. The rest of the tournament proceeds just as easily. The next few opponents are even weaker. He effortlessly defeats each one and soon he has single-handedly wiped out all 5 fighters from the opposing team. Over the next 2 days, the story is much the same. He continues his dominant performance, taking down 2 more schools by himself. Thanks to his incredible display, he successfully leads Shanghai High to win the championship. He and his team proudly pose with their medals and trophy. However, as he checks his system, his rival count is only 16 to 1,000. He realizes with disappointment that at this rate, it will take years to unlock the natural selection attribute. Despite his slow quest progress, there is a silver lining. He didn't expect Coach Guo to be so generous, but he gets the bulk of the tournament prize money, a full 20,000 yuan. Combining this with prize money from academic competitions, he now has around 30,000 yuan. That money doesn't last long. He immediately spends it all at the supermarket on a massive supply of ghost shadow squid meat. For the next several weeks, he devours the expensive meat at every meal. After consuming 30 gene, his codex unlock progress for the ghost shadow squid reaches 33%. His intensive training and consumption of beast meat pay off. By his second year of middle school, he breaks through to the next level, advancing from ordinary tier 3 to tier 4. His physical abilities reach new heights. He can now effortlessly lift 1890 kilograms with one hand, jump 5.65 meters vertically, and sprint 100 meters in just 4.49 seconds. Time flies, and soon, he and Shen Xinghan graduate from Shanghai's middle school division. However, when the high school entrance exam results are released, their paths seem destined to diverge. A heartbroken Shen Xinghan sits in her room, crying. She asks Lin Zetian why, after all her hard work, they can't go to the same high school anymore. He explains that while he ranked first in both liberal arts and martial arts, and her academic scores were excellent, her martial arts score wasn't high enough for the elite class at Shanghai High. As he comforts the crying Shen Xinghan, she asks what will happen now. He tells her the principal of Shanghai High is coming to his house, likely to recruit him, and asks if she will come. Feeling hopeless, she tearfully replies that it has nothing to do with her, as the principal is obviously only coming for him. Taking her hand, Lin Zetian pulls her up and leads her out of the room. He tells her not to worry. He has a plan. He reveals his one condition for staying at Shanghai High. Shen Xinghan has to be his deskmate. As promised, the principal of Shanghai High visits Lin Zetian's home. She, his mother, and Shen Xinghan discuss his future for several hours, with the principal expressing how much she wants him to stay at her school. As the meeting concludes, the principal stands to leave. As a final offer, she tells Lin Zixian that if he agrees to stay, she will grant any request he has. Taking the opportunity, Lin Zixian states his one condition. Shen Xingan must be allowed to continue in the same class with him. The principal looks at the nervous Shen Shenghan and confirms her name. Without hesitation, she agrees. With a smile, she tells them both to report to Shanghai High together for the new school year. Overjoyed, Lin Zixian and Shen Xingan thank her. With their high school future secured, Lin Zixian participates in his final junior high martial arts tournament. As expected, his overwhelming power easily leads his team to another championship. He decides to use the prize money to finally unlock the Ghost Shadow Squid Codex. He was only 20% away, and the new prize money was enough to max out the progress bar. Unsure what might happen, he travels to a secluded forest outside Shanghai for safety. Deciding not to waste time, he begins devouring the life essence from the last of the squid meat. A powerful blue energy surrounds him as a system notification confirms he is absorbing a large amount of essence. His eyes widen as he feels a final surge of power, and the Codex progress bar hits 100%. A new notification announces he has unlocked the Ghost Shadow Squid Codex and obtained a new biological attribute, Blessing of Liquid Affinity. The ability enhances his affinity with water, allowing him to move freely and even vanish in aquatic environments. However, as the power settles, he stands in the quiet forest holding the limp squid tentacles and feels his new ability is kinda underwhelming. Still feeling underwhelmed, Lin Zixian tests his new ability in a nearby pond. He finds his Blessing of Liquid Affinity has some benefits. He can soak for long periods without his skin wrinkling, and swimming is much easier with reduced water resistance. However, there are no other noticeable effects. He sits in the water and rationalizes that since the Ghost Shadow Squid is a low-tier beast, it's fair the ability isn't very powerful. He resolves that to get better attributes, he will either have to save up for higher-grade beast meat or become strong enough to hunt powerful wild mutant beasts himself. The memory of the terrifying giant mutant rats strengthens his resolve, and he clenches his fist, determined to grow stronger. With less than a week before school begins, Lin Zixian's mother and Shen Xinghan's family decide to go on a trip. To better study his new liquid affinity, Lin Zixian suggests they go to the beach. As they stand in the ocean, Shen Xinghan shivers and complains the seawater is cold. Lin Zixian, however, feels perfectly at home. He tells her to ease into it and then dives into the water, swimming with incredible speed. As he moves, his system rewards him with stat points for swimming and diving. From the shore, a nervous Shen Xinghan calls out, asking him to teach her how to swim. Lin Zixian pops his head out of the water, suddenly remembering his childhood friend doesn't know how yet. He begins patiently teaching her the basics. Given her average athletic talent, he assumes she will struggle. However, Shen Xinghan proves him wrong. She excitedly exclaims that swimming is surprisingly easy and that she learned it right away, diving effortlessly. She swims gracefully and surfaces with a look of shock, surprised she can dive without any instruction. Lin Zixian watches in shock as a strange blue aura of water seems to emanate from her. After she surfaces, she excitedly tells him how amazing it feels. She notes that while opening one's eyes underwater usually stings, she feels no discomfort. In fact, she finds it cool and pleasant. Her words leave Lin Zixian deep in thought. He watches her swim away, finding the situation unusual. He reasons that even with a natural talent for water, there's no way she could have mastered all the skills so instantly. Her rapid learning is simply not normal. Suddenly, a realization dawns on him. He recalls her lifelong problem with bedwetting when nervous. He wonders if this weakness is actually a sign of a powerful, innate water affinity she was born with. The idea excites him. He becomes convinced she might possess some kind of special cultivation body, like a character from his parents' Xianxia novels. To test his theory, they continue diving. Her performance shocks him even more as they explore the underwater world. He notes they have been holding their breath for over 10 minutes, an incredible feat for a beginner like Shen Xinghan. As they swim, Shen Xinghan's expression suddenly changes. A strange, swirling sound begins to vibrate through the water around her. Both look up, trying to find the source. They surface abruptly, and Shen Xinghan cries out as the glowing blue water swirls around her. Later that night, as they walk along the beach, Lin Zixian asks what happened. Shivering, she explains that underwater, she kept hearing strange and creepy sounds right by her ear. He comforts her and asks what kind of sounds. She tells him she couldn't understand the language, but it was a female voice that echoed nonstop until she surfaced. To help a frightened Shen Xinghan calm down, Lin Zixian brings her back to their hotel room. Later, he searches online for information about the strange female voice but finds no results. Unsettled and unable to sleep, he uses his restless energy to train. As he performs 1,000 weighted sit-ups, he feels a sudden surge of power. A system notification announces his hard work has paid off. He has advanced to ordinary tier 5. Surprised but pleased, he considers his new strength. He realizes that at tier 5, he is powerful enough to rival a fully grown giant mutant rat. A determined glint appears in his eyes as he clenches his fist, confident that tearing the beasts apart with his bare hands is no longer impossible. Eager to test his new limits, he goes to the empty beach at night. The stat boost is immense. His 100-meter dash time has dropped to a mere 3.64 seconds, and his vertical jump has increased to an incredible 6.98 meters. To test his strength, he finds a nearby car and discovers he can now lift the 1,600-kilogram vehicle with one hand. With this new progress, his life moves forward. The vacation ends, and he and Xinxinghan begin high school at Shanghai High. On their first day, they arrive early for class duty. Two new female classmates immediately recognize him, whispering excitedly about how handsome he is and how lucky they are to be on duty with him. While he is surprised his classmates know him, something even more unexpected happens. Simply performing class duty triggers a new system quest. The achievement requires completing 1,000 cooperative tasks for a new biological attribute, social animal. As he cleans the classroom with Xinxinghan, he wonders what this new attribute will do. Since the school year has just begun, he takes the opportunity to visit the mammoth supermarket after school. Now that he has unlocked the Ghost Shadow Squid Codex, he knows it's time to choose a new target for his ability. As he browses the expensive beast meat section, his eyes lock onto a new item. In one of the refrigerated cases is the packaged head of a savage giant eagle, priced at 1,998 yuan per jin. An eager grin spreads across his face as he picks up the package, making his decision. This will be his next target.